Not sure if I'm live. YouTube is telling me that I am live, but you never know. So let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me okay. You most probably can hear the music now. Hopefully it's not too loud and it's all good. We're gonna be here for a little bit noisy, but not overcrowded in general. I also hope that the chat is working fine. And as you can see behind my back, there are some venues, some goodies that look very Georgian. That's exactly the case. Let me show you around a little bit. And just in case, that's me and my dad as promised. Hi, Michaela. Yes, I think we look alike, so you can definitely say that we are related. Hi, Sharon, good to see you. Hi, Michaela. Guten Abend. Michaela говорит по-немецки, так что можешь по-немецки.
А я по-немецки не хочу.
Уже забыл?
Ну, конечно.
So my dad, Michaela, my dad used to learn German at school, and I just told him he could speak German with you, and he says, "Я по-немецки не verstehen." So he doesn't understand German, but some words are still there. I remember that. I do remember that. So we are now chilling at a big market space, which used to be the proper market. It's been converted into a lovely food hall. Hi, Michaela, good to see you. Hi, Satyam. Hi, everyone. Guten Abend, guten Tag, and happy Easter to everyone celebrating. Hi, Sandy. Sending you my love. Happy Easter. And before we get ready to leave the place, let me show you around a little bit. I'm not sure. Ой, и мама нас смотрит. И мама нас смотрит. Oh, mom is here. Let's say hi to mom. Привет, mom.
Привет, mom.
Привет. So let me show you around a little bit. I don't think we've ever been here actually. I mean, I might have taken you just for a very short while. That's a nice venue, very popular among tourists and locals as well. It's called the Arbeliani Bazaar. Well, bazaar, I guess that's pretty much clear what this is. There are lots of different cafes, food corners. Ooh, let me show you that. These are the super cool things, the Japanese desserts. They're такие крутые японские штучки. They're so cute. They look really delicious. So some other time for sure, should probably take Grisha here. By the way, Grisha has a sweet tooth, as you know. So one of his favorite ice creams is a local place. It's called Luca Polare. They have really decent ice cream. And this place is definitely intended for family fun. It's not too crowded now because it's Easter holidays and many people have left elsewhere, vacation. They don't have some time off school. Hi, good to see you, Shin. Hello. So the Bazari, that's the name, Orbeliani Bazaar or Bazari, which I think is universal pretty much. That's my dad enjoying himself. Как дела?
Очень хорошо.
I just asked my dad how it's going. Wie geht's? Помнишь Wie geht's?
Нет.
Как дела по-немецки?
Да?
Yeah?
Не помню.
Wie geht's?
Аня, заигрался. Старый.
That's
Давно
it.
было.
The place is half empty now because some of the vendors, some places are not working because of the holidays, and the city itself looks like half of the city has gone on vacation. It's empty, roads are empty. It feels a little bit surreal knowing how crowded it gets sometimes and how busy the roads are. But what I really like is that these vendors are still here, and I like to come here for some treats. They're very Georgian treats. They are the churchkelas. Obviously, I've shown them to you in many places because this is a traditional Georgian dessert. Nuts on a string in grape juice mixed with corn flour, so it would just get solid. Hi Marilyn, happy Easter to everyone. Yes, Sharon, by the way, my dad has played the tournament. Как сыграл?
Хорошо?
Do you know знаешь результаты?
Нет.
So he doesn't know the results
Рано,
yet.
пока рано.
I would think that the results come immediately, like you know if you lost or if you won, but looks like it's not like that. But he was playing for like 3 hours or so. So, and I think we could even try some churchella, so maybe the fruit leather. Звика, почем чурчхела?
Да?
Почем чурчхела?
С миндалем, внутренний жир, грецкий орех.
Сколько стоит?
8 лет.
Ого, понятно. Это, наверное, можно попробовать. А можно попробовать вот эту? Думаю, что можно. I think we can try. These are very big ones. They're very generous, as you can see. Let's see if Dad likes it. Можно попробовать, да?
Да, конечно.
Папа, попробуй вот эту.
Берите.
Это миндаль? No, it's walnuts.
Это грецкий орех очень вкусный.
No.
На.
Да, даже попробую. So there you go. Normally the churchkellas could be smaller, but this is really big, very generous.
Давай попробуем еще. Белый виноград, сапира, есть еще.
Okay, so that's
Откуда?
grape juice and very fresh nuts. Very good. I'm really enjoying it. Да вы делаете?
Это хурма, вот такие вяленые. Покажи.
Oh, the persimmon, the dried persimmon.
Вот.
Okay.
Это хурма, инжир,
Okay. These are the sun-dried figs.
фиг. Вот это.
What is это инжир?
Да, вот мягкий.
А.
Как это.
Это как ожерелье из инжира.
Давай берите, попробуйте.
I'm gonna try the sun-dried figs.
Давай вот эту куплю, которую.
Пастила, вот еще пастила.
Попробуй инжир.
Отсюда бери, ну.
It's really nice.
Это тоже покажи.
Oh, I like it. Oh, look at these. These are the bouquets of churchellas. Look at that. The sun-dried figs are really delicious and a bit crunchy, like the seeds. They're really crunchy, really nice. And look at all these abundance.
Соусы.
Wow. These look like true big, generous churchellas. А это тут еще какой-то сухофрукты, да? Или это просто...
Много ореха, мало сока.
Ah, okay. So this is...
Большие, это маленькие. Это близнецы, это толстые, это худенькие. Они много кушали, чуть мало.
saying that these are the slim ones. They've been on a diet, and these are very thick ones. Look at those. I like when there is a lot of juice. It's really big, and it looks like you can even kill with something like that. Really good. А это просто разный сорт винограда, да?
Да, сок винограда, это гранат.
Oh, that's pomegranate juice.
Кизмараули.
The Kinsmarauli grape juice over there.
Виноград.
White grapes. Riccatelli. Oh yeah, I know riccatelli.
Сапирави.
Oh, sapiravi is very rich.
Вот это внутренний жир.
So there are figs and walnuts. Oh, okay.
Только фиг.
Just figs, no nuts.
Это здесь
Oh,
сухофрукты.
okay. So different combination of sun-dried fruits. There's so much to see. Wow.
Это хурма вяленый, вот такой.
Okay. So sun-dried persimmon with the grape juice, right? Это тоже сок, да?
Это миндаль, almond.
Almond. Wow. Yes, it's all natural. It's like a small farm, да? У вас маленькое хозяйство? Small farm. Wow. It's all homemade.
Вот эту возьму, которую будем первую
Красненькую, да?
Опять?
Да можно вот такую одну возьмем. I really want this one. Это сапирави, да, вы сказали? Или кинзмараули это?
Измагауда,
Вот
это
это.
виноград с апельсином.
Okay.
Попробуйте, это форма
Oh,
виолетового.
I want one more. I'm getting so hungry. Look at that.
Ань, у тебя наличные есть?
У меня есть.
Да, одну и надо.
Если есть, лучше наличные.
У меня только 5. Wait a second.
Давай, сейчас сколько?
Возьми оттуда.
Да, вот сюда тоже, вот. Там другая компания, тут другая.
And the jams.
Гранат, измагауда с апельсином.
Я ж тебе давала 5.
Так они у меня спортивные. Я думал, я в город еду.
Все.
Который мы первый.
So here, my dad is allergic to honey, so I'm not gonna show and taste any honey with him. Other than that, look at all these jams, also homemade.
Семь надо.
Тогда только с карты.
Давай, ничего. Не говори. Еще хотите, да?
Не, спасибо большое.
На карте нужно еще. Если много будет, на карте нужно. Варенье, джем на карте.
Спасибо большое. Ой, а что это такое? А что это такое?
Грецкий орех, там есть специи там.
Oh, that's okay. That's different spices mix, different mix with nuts and different herbs and spices. You know, Georgians are nuts about nuts, so.
На салатиках на место.
Okay. So it's very common to add nuts everywhere in every food, be it savory or sweet. And I particularly like Georgian salad, cucumbers, tomatoes, and walnuts. So this is very typical seasoning with the sunflower oil, natural one, first press or extra virgin, and the walnuts is really good. Madloba. So what have you got? Oh, okay. So we have one tortilla. This one is very big. Normally I could eat just one whole tortilla, just me, but this one is very big. So it's for the two of us. So that's the place. And let me show you the name. Obviously it's a tourist spot and the price is a little higher since they need to pay for the rent and everything, but that's just always a nice experience to drop by. And I thought it was a good idea to show my dad a little bit of some food, but it's even though it's his first time in Georgia. Someone asked on the chat whether my dad has been to Georgia before. No, he hasn't, but he had a lot of friends from Georgia different times during the Soviet period and afterwards. Obviously, there's a lot of shared history. So all the Georgian delicacies is not something exotic to my dad, but seeing it here and tasting it here when the Churchellas have not spent weeks and days, at least days on the road, and they're just here from a local farm. That's always nicer, always. So why is this area called Arbiliani Bazaar? That's because this neighborhood, the land, used to belong to a prominent aristocratic family, Orbeliani, hence the name. And as you can see from architecture, this is a very European part of the city. We're going, пойдем? Yes, there's always some music, and I like the music in such a beautiful neighborhood. So this is 19th century architecture. This is a very imperial style architecture, and it's good to see these houses restored. We were here yesterday with Dad, just walking around, and he enjoyed it a lot. But on this tour, we're going to travel a little bit back in time. Obviously, we've been showing him around all these days, depending on how much time we have. And we also been trying to find this balance between sightseeing, some quality family time, and spending time with Grisha. And I would like also to show my dad that tram. We were in this area several months ago for one of the New Year tours. There used to be a big Christmas fair, kind of a Christmas bazaar, better say. Normally during the weekend, this area is super busy, but because most people are away on holiday or just somewhere out of the city, it's even nicer. So here used to be a, a small bar on the tram. Вот такие трамваи раньше ходили. Смотри, пап, только тут изначально не было электричества 20-х годов. И тут была конка. So I'm just telling my dad that these are the trams. This is the actual tram, but however, right now you can't see that, but you can picture it, I think, quite easily. There used to be horses here, so it was a horse-driven tram, because up until early 1920s there was no electricity, like on a full scale, and the public transport was not electrified. Oh, I think that's I think that would be a good selfie with the tram. And since we are going to travel back in time a little bit from the 19th century area, we're going to explore the old city a little bit. And there's several particular streets I want to take my dad to. Oh, тебе не жарко? It's just getting a little bit hot. I don't know why. The local time is around 5 p.m. So technically speaking, it's supposed to get colder now as we are coming closer to the evening, but it's not happening. The old is very perfect, and what can future do? That's a good question, by the way. I sometimes also have similar thoughts. You are very right, and knowing how destructive humankind can be, I don't know what to expect from the future. This area, so yeah, on the one hand, it used to belong to Orbeliani family, so we could say that the entire neighborhood could just as well be called Orbeliani. Almost 5 p.m. А который час? I'm going to ask my dad for the exact time.
Без 13:05.
Okay, yeah, it's just like quarter to 5 p.m. Also, there has always been trade here, always. And the bazaar where we have just been, for a long time it was just the farmer's bazaar. And there is also a flower market here. When we were here for the New Year, there were a lot of chichilakis. If you remember, those were the Georgian style Christmas trees. But now it's time for the flowers, because the city is already in full bloom. And this grass, I would think that this is for cats. You know, when I had cats, we would always give this kind of grass for them. That's how also they just cleanse themselves. But from what I found out, the locals told me that during Easter time, and that's exactly when I started seeing this grass everywhere. I was told by a local that during Easter season, locals just put the eggs, the colored eggs, on this grass, and this is the traditional arrangement. If I see it elsewhere, I'll definitely show you. If you missed our live walk from yesterday in the botanical garden of Tbilisi, well, check this out. Since you are already on my YouTube channel, you know where to find it. And you know where to find the video. We had a lot of fun, and we saw a lot of lilacs, some wisterias and some tulips. Wow. In the very end, I found the perfect spot to wrap up that tour, so we had a little bit of a tulip experience too. It smells really nice here. And I like this place a lot, because this is the traditional place where the trade has always been, and the flower market has been here for dozens and dozens and dozens of years. Look at that. So, the lilacs. Oh, the camomiles. I hope those are the chamomiles, right? They should be. Like, it can't be that bad. And roses and tulips, at least these flowers I can recognize. Despite observing human, you'll be more interested in botany. I can understand where this comes from. I can relate. Sometimes that's just as much safer. Daisies? You think those are daisies? You think so? So you see, that's how hopeless I am. Yeah, probably daisies. Я только что перепутала ромашки с чем-то еще. What can I say? But we go on. So as I said, traveling back in time. Obviously, I have taken Dad to the old city, but he particularly liked one area, and I thought to show him a little bit more of that nook. Also, this spot, very neo-Gothic, is quite remarkable. Also, one of my favorite buildings. When I say imperial, I'm just basically referring to the times of the Russian Empire, obviously, with this type of architecture. But since we are going backwards, so we are moving further from the imperial times, from St. Petersburg influence. Shall we go? And we're going to cross the street and find this border between the periods, between the epochs. By the way, over here, every now and then, and my dad still cannot get used to this, you can find the cat food, the dog food, just being sprinkled at nearly every corner. That's because this is how caring the locals are. This is not a city initiative. You know, there are a lot of stray dogs in the streets, and this is the city's policy. So what is the city initiative? I should put it right, probably, just not to confuse you. So the city's policy is to not to just build shelters, numerous shelters for dogs and cats, but to neuter them, chip them, and let them go. Though, yeah, obviously they do bark. They bark. So this one is trying to cross the street, but it's waiting because it's still red color, so you can't go. It's still red lights, so it's not going. You can see that. Well, but these ones, they don't. Sometimes they don't like cars. They also not big fans of bikes and segways and scooters. So they sometimes bark at them. But that's the worst thing they can do. And the food that is placed everywhere, it's just the local people. It's not the city's initiative. But I guess they just really pay attention to that. So that's the house, and unfortunately we're not going to see it for a long time. This is one of the buildings that was constructed at the turn of the 20th century. And this used to be, you wouldn't believe it, this used to be just the city's polyclinics. Just that. It's a little bit too sunny. I can't really see a lot of the screen. So once we cross the street, I'll be able to see the messages. And as you can see, just from across the street, there is another building that looks very different. So exactly on the street, there is kind of a border between the 19th century imperial architecture and the old city. By old city, I basically refer to everything that had been built before 1800, because this is officially 1801 when Georgia was annexed to the Russian Empire. I have shared on my tours before, but since some of you must have just joined me for the first time, that there was a very big fire in the end of the 1700s, 1795. The Persians invaded not for the first time, but for the last time, luckily. And the entire city was razed to, well, nothing, almost nothing was left. Ruins and just charred remnants of the houses. A lot of Georgians also perished. And the city was supposed to, and it was eventually rebuilt. And that part, luckily, luckily had been rebuilt in the same way. So we can say that from here starts the very old city. And over here is what's left of the aqueduct, because what every old city needs, they need water. Now I'm going to explain my dad. Смотри, тут смотри, как получается. Вот это старый город, да?
Да.
А через дорогу уже совсем другой, это уже 19 век. А вот это, вот здесь вот, это остатки акведука. И вот это вот все, и вот так вот дальше, там еще посмотрим, это остатки городской стены. Потому что раньше Тбилиси был обнесен стенами.
Да, как всегда.
Да. But, so what you can see over here, these balconies, this nice, quite simple but still very charming balcony. These floors, they rest on these very massive walls. So they used to be part of the fortification that the medieval Tbilisi used to have. We'll see more of that over there, but I'm going to ask my dad a question. У меня к тебе вопрос. Викторина. Как ты думаешь, кто это? Какие варианты? Yeah, so there is a monument, and I have shown it on my tours, but my dad, he just told me he hasn't seen many of my tours, so I'm going to ask him. So I'm asking him who he thinks this might be. Ну, какие идеи? Танцор, актер, политик, я не знаю, писатель.
Нету идей.
No idea. So my dad just has no idea. But most wouldn't have guessed because this is an architect. Это архитектор. Шота Кавлашвили, представляешь?
Представляй.
It's just, yes, obviously my dad has never heard of such a person, Shota Kavlashvili, but he is an architect from the Soviet times.
Чувак какой-то модный.
My dad thinks that this guy just has a really fashionable, really trendy hairstyle, but he's actually wearing, well, kind of a combination of a traditional Georgian outfit, like this type of a gown over there, more like a mantle, and also something very common because this man actually worked in the Soviet times. He lived in the Soviet period, and exactly thanks to this gentleman, Shota Kavlashvili, the old city of Tbilisi still exists the way we see it now. Yeah, some houses are dilapidating, that's true, but at least these houses are here, and it's just probably a matter of time when the restoration comes and saves them. And exactly in the Soviet times, they were rebuilding this road over here, as you can see. This is there has always been a road here, but as you can see, it's definitely newer. That's because when they were digging and improving the infrastructure as well as the pipes, they discovered the ancient walls that just had been covered under multiple layers of soil. And further on, this would be uncovered. And thanks to Shota Kavlashvili, let me show you. This is how the entire area has got integrated. So in the Soviet times, Shota Kavlashvili saved some of the city walls, and we're going to see a lot of buildings that had been saved. And in the modern times, in the 2000s, while building this road, quite an impressive area had been uncovered, and the old walls had been discovered. Да, это вот разные уровни старого города. So the local historians claim that the oldest bricks are from around the 11th century, which doesn't mean, hi Shin, good to see you, which doesn't mean that this is how old the city is. The city officially was established 15 centuries ago. We're not going there because the connectivity there is not perfect. Please behave on the chat, please. We don't want the chat to get too distracting, but it's totally fine to joke a bit and to chit chat. Obviously, hi Natalie and Gar. Obviously, there had been a much older walls. These walls had been here since the foundation of the city, almost. That's what historians claim. But the oldest bricks, because of so many wars and destructions, unfortunately, the city had endured at least 15 onslaughts, at least 15 big 15 battles, but they were also minor ones. So not much survived from the earlier periods. But you can see over there, and there's a lot more that had been uncovered, but this is not it's not visible. But basically, all the way down there and up until the river, there would be remnants of the walls, and sometimes in some areas they would show. But we are going to now find ourselves in the old city. So if I show it to you from here, you will see that structure of a round shape over there with a nice tree blossoming. Some prunes are still blooming. This is the part of one of the dungeons, since here used to be one of the entrances. So the entrance to a fortress city is always the weakest point in a fortification, so it would definitely need extra protection and extra control to make sure you see who enters the city. The road in general, I don't think it's something quite ingenious, but the thing is that in order to save the ruins, to preserve them and also to make them visible, at least partly, they just had to elevate the road. That was not the point. The point was to make the road much wider because it was much narrower. And they were also working on the implementation of some new pipe system, some sewage system, and that's how it was discovered. So that's the 2000s when it was discovered, and that's in the Soviet period. Thanks to Shota Kavlashvili. Now let's explore a little bit of the old city. So we have now entered the old city. That's it, we're here. And imagine that the walls are behind us. They're kind of behind us, but mostly underground. And the moment we are in the old city, we can see some cobblestone roads. I can't guarantee these are the old cobblestones, most probably not, but they definitely add to the vibe. And we're going to see, пойдем там, потому что мы там уже ходили, а тут мы еще не ходили. But we are going to see some old buildings that are still here thanks to Shota Kavlashvili. And the vibe, look at that, the carpets. We have been already to many rug stores, so let's see a little bit more of them. Not a complete tour until I see some underwear, until I see a cat, a dog we have already seen, some rugs, which is also a must. I like that one, I want to see it a bit closer. Мне нравится ковер. Смотри, какой ковер. Смотри, какой ковер классный. I really like this birdie. Смотри, какие птички. I think these are roosters. Это же петухи, да?
Красивые.
Клевые. These are really nice rugs. Тут говорят, что тур не полон, если не нашли сушащееся белье. Надо найти сушащееся белье в саду. So I just translated my dad the story about the underwear getting dried. We definitely need a selfie here next to a fun rug. So we would appreciate a selfie.
Рой, как я бородком на папу похож.
I can't see anything. Я ничего не вижу. Давай хотя бы
Вообще
так.
ничего не видно.
Can't see anything at all.
Солнце.
Yes, a lot of colors. So let's move on. This is the touristy area, and we have been here a couple of times, but my dad has not been on these streets. We walked some streets of the old city, and he found it quite nice, so I thought to show him a bit more. Speaking of underwear, speak of the devil, we've got some over there. А вот и белье нашли. So that's it, we can wrap up the tour. Yeah. And the cat, just... А еще и кошку нашли. Ну все, можно закончить тур уже. So you see, locals just place containers.
А не надо
Ой.
разговаривать.
Sorry, dear, sorry. So locals place container, everyone would just pass by, and if it's empty, they would add water. That's not a problem. So you see, the animals, even though they kind of walk wherever they want, uh, they're stray, they're homeless, they are not hopeless, and they are loved and taken care of. Just a little bit of the old city that I would like to show over here, and then we'll switch to another area. So that's exactly the typical outline of the streets of the old city. Narrow, chaotic. Some buildings have been restored. Look at this one. This is a good example because they have preserved the old bricks, and they have decided to keep it open without any plaster. And then they extended the building and built something modern. This is definitely a modern extension. The bricks are different. Obviously, I'm not a specialist, but you can see that it's different. And they decided to, in the modern section of the building, still they're recreating the balconies and designing it just like it would look in the old city. It's not restoration, obviously, and it's just to make sure it looks harmonious, that it just blends with the city, doesn't stand out too much. And this is the area that's a very good investment. Even these semi-dilapidating houses are quite expensive because if they are not monuments, that's not so difficult to tear them down and build a property to turn it into a hotel. They have very good conditions here for small business. I don't know much about the big business, full-scale business, but when it gets to small businesses, it's only 1% tax that you pay. 1% income tax. That's it. Isn't it incredible? Wow, that's interesting that this place is open. It's called Muse, as you can see. And the name of the street might be familiar to you. It's called the Silver Street, the Верцхили Street, the Серебряная улица. Я знаю немецко-грузинский. So Dad must be surprised. Пойдем зайдем посмотрим. Dad must be surprised. I hope they let me show around a little bit. That's one of the local restaurants. Hi. Can I film a little bit here? Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me show you around. So the magic of Tbilisi is in its courtyards. And this place does look inspiring. Like, иди сюда. So the Muse is a good name, I believe, for a tour. We could do a selfie, please. Look a little bit silly, but that's okay. And I mean, just check out everything. We're going to roam around a little bit. But нам разрешили поснимать, давай походим, посмотрим. Got some old furniture. Wow. Wow. So the magic of Tbilisi is in its courtyards, and that's definitely a magical one. Also with some old furniture. Wow. How tall is that? The bar.
It's Armenian kid.
Armenian?
Yes.
Wow. I have never seen what is it? Is it a mini bar? It's a maxi bar. It's so big. Wow. It's like 4 meters. I don't know. 3 meters. Really big. Armenian. Antique furniture. It must have been extended at some point. I'm not sure, but this looks really impressive. So I've heard of this restaurant quite a lot. I've never been here myself, but I've been told that it's always nice to check out the... Michaela, thank you so much for the tips there. Thank you. Hello. And a little bit of the local vibe. The balconies, the rugs. This is charming. This is charming. Okay, are we back? Just let us know. We carry on exploring the old city, and Vladimir is just came up from around the corner and is happy to guide us a little bit to this place. What's the name of the place?
The name of our bar is Impulse, but it's only about brand name. This building is above names and categories. You know, it's a unique space, and I'm excited to work here really because I didn't see such spaces in Tbilisi. I'm new here. Maybe there are some similar platforms, but gallery, museum, and greatest wine in one place. It's just unbelievable for me. Yep.
Okay. Okay, I'm buying it. Let's explore. Let's explore.
We have one floor for free, but unfortunately there is no photos or video allowed inside. So you can, for example, a lot of details on this balcony or stairs, but unfortunately inside it's exclusive. So dear subscribers, come here and
In person.
and see it in person.
It's like a private gallery.
Yeah. Recently, we used to work as a gallery, so people paid a ticket just to walk inside. But we changed concept because we're like, oh, it's so hot outside. Please give us wine in Khachapuri. We don't go outside.
Okay.
And we started to make our cheeses, our wine.
Oh, I like it. This looks a bit Dali inspired. A little bit. Wow. So we cannot go inside, but we can just explore a little bit over here. And who are these people?
This is I can say a royal family or friends of royal family who used to live here. You know, when now we have old Tbilisi and new Tbilisi.
Yeah.
But in that time, all old Tbilisi was the whole Tiflis. And the intensivity of art people and some politics and some royal people, it was really high. A lot of different interesting people were here, and we also have one for 10 lari per person, but usually people when they pay for a ticket they get also my guide, and on the платный этаж, это как сказать?
Paid floor?
On the paid floor, there are two the most old fireplaces in Tbilisi, and Lev Tolstoy used to sit in front of one of them for hours, like it's a fact. Lev Tolstoy was here a long time.
Okay, Leo Tolstoy was here some time ago. Enjoyed a quiet evening by a fireplace, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you so much, Vladimir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Wow, that's impressive. So I've passed by this place like gazillions of times, but I've never really been inside. Классно, да? Wow. That's good. Thank you for the tour.
You're welcome. Can I ask you for a name of your channel?
Yes, Anna, your guide. Anna, your guide.
Anna, your guide.
Anna Levina. You can try looking for Anna Levina guide, and I think you can find me there quite easily.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye. So I like it that just randomly we can come across some nice people showing us around, letting us explore and experience the sights. Let me know if the chat is working, if everything is fine, because I know that the connectivity has been unstable. Okay, am I back? Yeah, it looks like we've been in and out, and it's been a bit unstable. Please let us know if the chat is working. Am I back? Please let me know. Because at the moment I don't see the chat, I see nothing. All good. Oh, that's fine. So I'm gonna show my dad this place. Хочешь, я тебя угощу тут очень вкусным,
А чё
по-быстренькому? Пойдем. Сладенькое. So I'm going to show my dad one of my favorite places. Yes, one of my favorite places. And да нет, давай. Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Воистину воскрес. Happy Easter. That's my dad.
Nice to meet you.
Wow. So my audience knows this place already. It's a famous artisan confectionery sweet shop with all the artisan foods and desserts. Это все такое очень необычное, уникальное, вкусное очень, да. О, что ты хочешь? Что ты будешь?
Удиви.
А нету, здравствуйте.
Гамаджоба.
Гамаджоба. А у вас есть с фисташковыми или уже закончились, да, все с
Нет,
фисташками?
это остался только. Что есть?
А что это такое? Что там?
Это маракуйя, это шоколад.
А, окей. Ты будешь
Что
кофе?
ты будешь? Нет. Я...
Нет? Окей. Okay. Wow. No, these are nice ones. Let me show you more. А это с лавандой, да, наверное?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Lavanda with blueberry.
Oh, blueberry and lavender. Oh my goodness, this looks so beautiful.
Гамаджоба.
Oh, wow. There's more. I'll tell you more about the history of this place. Sure.
Ai, sì, sono esperti.
Pegares lavanda da moço.
Oh, wow. Well, we've had some connectivity issues for sure, and that's a pity. Oh, look at that! And since it's Easter, we also have this egg-themed desserts. Ой, а что здесь внутри у этих больших яиц?
Это кулич.
Ah, okay. So it's a delicious traditional Easter pastry, but they would normally look quite different, and this is styled as an egg. That's so cool. А можно у вас тогда чашечку кофе вашего по-турецки и с маракуйей пироженку? Ага. Да зачем у меня все есть? Только мне надо достать. Хорошо. Okay. And да, можно. And also, why I have brought you here is that this place has some of the best souvenirs. If you want to combine some sweet, something sweet, and also make it into a nice souvenir from Tbilisi, that's definitely one of the the best place to go to, because all these cookies, or like, what's the word for it? Like Lebkuchen, right, in German. Michaela, you can definitely correct me. Hopefully I pronounce it right. Like gingerbreads. They are all handmade and hand painted, because the chefs here, everyone who's in charge of cooking and decorating, they also have artistic education. They studied in the Academy of Fine Arts, and all these gingerbreads are inspired by some Georgian motifs. Either it's Pirosmanishvili, there's Niko Pirosmani, one of the most popular Georgian artists. And over there, this is a very traditional wedding outfit. Мы на улице сядем. Look. And wow, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. It is. So I'll tell you a bit more about this place in a minute. And by the way, if you follow me on my YouTube and on my Instagram, then you must have noticed already, must have seen some videos about this place. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you so much. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. So a little bit of a history of this area. So we are in the old city, but the businesses here are quite new. There are a lot of restaurants close and open. I guess that's pretty similar everywhere in historic areas, but it's always nice to see some old businesses still working. still operating, and that sweet store and the coffee shop actually goes back almost 200 years. This is not the original place where this coffee shop opened, but in around 1830s, one of the soldiers of the former Napoleon army came to Tiflis and decided to open a bakery. It doesn't mean that there were no bread stores and bakeries before that, but they were like more homemade. But this was turned into a business. Originally, the bakery was in a bit different area. Давай здесь. Originally, it was in a different area, but further on, the descendants decided to reopen the business and purchased this part of the building and turned it into a nice blue cafe. Matasse is the name of that officer. And let me see if there is a... Where is the name? Yeah, Matasse 1822. That's the name. And because it was established by a Frenchman, it has this very French Baroque vibe. Спасибо. Madloba.
Христос воскрес. Христос воскрес. Хорошего, теплого и счастливого.
Wow. So my dad and I are going to enjoy a quick sip of coffee and a dessert.
Ешь свои пирожные.
Давай пополам.
Я не
Давай.
хочу ей, Вань.
Давай. I'm making my dad try the local dessert.
Пополам-то её надо.
We're not too hungry, but I just could not pass by this place. So, ну давай. Они очень вкусные. Где самое любимое это фисташковое. My most favorite one is from pistachios, but I'm not surprised they are gone. Вкусно? И не очень сладко, правда?
Да.
So, my dad says it's really good, very delicious, and it's true, he's not lying, trust me. He wouldn't have lied on tour. Ты бы не стала об Я знаю. So, this is beautiful, and it's not too sweet. So what I like about the desserts here, that they are not too sweet. And every item that is on sale here it looks like an artwork. Isn't
Это
it?
совсем другой кофе.
Да, это всегда турецкий кофе.
Другой.
It's mango maracuja. Маракуйя же, да, сказали?
Ну, он похоже, кстати, манго маракуйя, скорее всего, да.
Maybe it's a combo, mango and maracuja. Дай. Да, тебя. So first, my dad was not willing to try it, but now he's going to finish because he knows it's delicious. And we're going to have a quick coffee. У них вкусный кофе по-турецки.
Своеобразно.
And that's the Turkish coffee. No, normally I never drink. I never drink black coffee, but their Turkish coffee is really good. Это для меня? Is it for me?
Да.
Oh, thank you. Could you please take a selfie for us? Making memories. Thank you.
Короче, я старый город, надо идти с наличкой. Ну, серьезно.
Сейчас тоже просили наличку?
Конечно.
Sorry. Допивай, потом подходи. Хорошо?
Да.
So my dad is going to finish the coffee. I also like that the old street names from the Soviet times and also from the imperial times you can sometimes see in the streets. They're still here. So my dad is enjoying himself. I don't want to film others, but I will film my dad. Ну что? He's just used the word божественный, which means divine. You know, my dad is normally never really that verbal about giving reviews. So he's not normally this generous, but you see, he's really enjoyed it, and that's what I was talking about. So the old city, sometimes it looks really bad, really sad, but this is the living history, and it's still living history. It's still here. Смотри, какие необычные двери. I have never seen doors like that. There is still a lot of very artisan architecture. Это по-любому какая-то кустарная работа. Но это 19 век. That's 19th century. Still
Где
here.
написано? Где ты увидела, я не видел.
Нет, просто я знаю, что 19 век. He's, he's not charging me anything, but I cook for him. Misha cooks, and we take him around the places. And by the way, he had to pay now because he couldn't just find my card. А ты взял мою карточку?
А я
Ты мне ее
свои.
отдал, да? А,
Подожди,
окей.
я тебе не
Вот.
пойму. Я ее не брал.
А, ну и
свою.
все, тогда это моя. He just thought he left my credit card at the store. That's not the case, so he had to pay because he couldn't get my card. So it's kind of he has to he has to charge me now for sure. And my dad, so since it's the first time he's been to Georgia, he didn't know what to expect, and now he says he wants to come back. Looks like he'll be staying for less than a week, so probably till next weekend. But ты хочешь вернуться, да? В октябре приедешь еще?
Конечно.
He's just told me that he wants to come back in October for my birthday. So he says he's enjoying it. Да, тебе понравилось?
Очень. Честное слово.
So he likes it. Like. Okay, пойдем, я тебе покажу то, что ты еще не видел. And what I really find lovely is that he also likes these vibes, the vibe of old Tbilisi. All the chipping off plasterwork, the balconies that sometimes look like they're just about to collapse on your head. He likes it. This is amazing because I thought my dad would be a little bit, well, not like put off, but maybe disappointed, but I'm so happy that he's enjoying it just as much as we all. And what I like sometimes is to just let myself get lost in Tbilisi just a little bit for a little while, and just let myself come across something new. And you wouldn't believe it, even though I have walked the street so many times, there is still something new that I discover. To reconnect, let me see the chat. Hopefully we are back. Thank you, Ruth. So what has your father worked with? What do you mean, Sharon? So he has a small private business, retail stores, like retail chain, small ones back in Novosibirsk. Oh, yeah, but he can't stay away from work for a long time. He has to be there supervising everything. So unfortunately, he'll have to leave by the end of the next week. And that's a bit sad because he's just come like yesterday, but it's already been almost a week. He came on Tuesday. And one more thing that I would like to show, which is a gem of this area, is definitely this old church, Armenian church. Yeah, so I think that I have just explained. It's not really like a small retail departments in the stores. There's mostly different gadgets, small stuff. Yes, it's such a shame he can't stay longer. That's true. So I know we're going to. It feels for Dad. It feels like a little bit, intruding, invasion of privacy, and in a way it is. But actually, it's the open courtyard, and that's one of my favorite places, and that's where I really wanted to take my dad to. The abandoned church. It's no longer functioning, as you can see. And over here, there are still graves from the Armenian cemetery. Let's spy a little bit. There was a fire. So this church was closed in the Soviet times. Obviously, it didn't survive the Soviet times, but it was used for other purposes until a big fire happened in the 90s and early 2000s. And now, unfortunately, at least there's this metal ribs, the support, and hopefully the church is not going to collapse. But it's definitely going to take a long time to restore it. Хотя бы не свалится, видишь, там эти металлические укрепления.
Ну да.
Ну, хотелось бы. Thank you so much for sending the selfies to us. Thanks so much. Ну, вот тут это какие-то гробницы даже еще есть. Это все армянское. Ну, видишь, церковь не работает, никто не ухаживает особо, к сожалению. Just explaining my dad. Dad explaining some things to Dad a little bit. Few things here and there. Unfortunately, there are still some churches in the old city that have not been restored and they're not functioning and there's no service held there. Hopefully this will change at some point too. And we are about to wrap it up now because I'm having 3 more tours tonight. So we are still in the Silver Street, and it's nice to see a lot of silversmiths, jeweler stores, jeweler workshops everywhere. Like over here, да, смотри, улица Серебряная, тут изначально были всякие ювелиры, всякие ювелирные мастерские, и до сих пор здесь есть ювелирные мастерские, представляешь? Вот так вот. До сих пор. О, как мило. So, sorry for the glare, but I'll just show you over here. This is a small jewelry store called Georgina. Not really unique, but cute. And here, well, hopefully it's not really gold, but you have the small figurines. Again, these are the characters from the Nico Pirosmanishvili artworks. Yeah, the glare is horrible, so I'd rather just pull back a little bit. So, this is it, my dears. It's time to wrap this up. Ну смотри, чурчхелу купили?
Да.
We've got the churchhella. Погуляли немножко?
Да.
We had a walk. We've been guided to, we've dropped by one restaurant and then we've been guided to another one.
И пирожных поели.
And yeah, we've got a pastry, we've got some coffee, and now it's time to wrap this up. There are 3 more tours tonight. So it's going to be a tour of Mikhail Baryshnikov. Well, I guess not much explanation in it, but one of the stars of ballet and contemporary dance. Then Misha, my husband, my dad, and me gonna be talking about the censorship in the Soviet times and the popular music and rock music and how every teenager in the Soviet Union still had access to all the not recommended music. And my dad is kind of an expert in all that, so he'll be sharing a lot of personal stories. And I'm taking him to Jerusalem today for the second time, the second part of the City of David, to talk about archaeology and history spanning over 4,000 years. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. I wish the connectivity had been better. This can be helped. I really don't know what to do about it. Thank you for your patience and thank you for your support. And now it's time I treated Dad with something because, as I said, he had to buy all these things himself because he just wouldn't want to use my card. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for supporting us. Bye-bye. Thank you, Sharon. Let's wrap up here with... кстати, ты знаешь, кто это? Это Тамада. Это маленькая уменьшенная копия скульптуры, которая была найдена несколько лет назад. Ей много веков. И вообще, ты знаешь, что 8 тысяч лет истории виноделия в Грузии? Это самое старое вино, которое найдено до сих пор. Это 8 тысяч лет ему находится в Грузии. То считается, что... Нет, просто нашли виноград, нашли как бы остатки виноградной культуры, которые датируются 6 тысячелетием до нашей эры. So I just told my dad about the history of winemaking in Georgia, and that this is a small figurine. This is a copy of a sculpture that was a small figurine. I mean, not sculpture, it was a little bit bigger figurine that was found in archaeological excavations a few years ago, and that dates back to like 11th century. That's a tamada. This guy is just about to make a toast, and he's holding a horn in his arm, and he's going to have a wine from it, and he's going to have it all. It should be filled to the brim, and he'll have to drink all of it, because you cannot just put it on a table. You just have to empty it before you put it, and it will just have to lay on the table. So when I told my dad about the history of winemaking, and as you know, the first thing we did when he came, we went to buy some bottles of wine, and definitely gonna have some more. Thank you so much for joining us, and bye-bye. I'll see you soon.